All right, in this video I'm going to break down 3 lessons that I learned launching a shoe, from the pricing all the way to all of the marketing and everything to going live with this thing and pre-selling it, pre-launching it today on June 12th, 2024. So 3 lessons that I learned here were specifically around the pricing of that product, understanding then the best approach to market that product, and we'll get tactically into what I'm thinking for this, and then the importance of creative and assets for my team as we begin to market this product and roll it out and tease it, and really what that process has looked like. So number 1 is the pricing. I was working with somebody from ex Under Armour executive, was early on in Under Armour, and he was explaining to me as a part of this brand that pricing is important, and pricing shouldn't be relative to your COGS or what you create the product and sell the product for. It should be related to what the market will pay for that product. That was an important shift in paradigm for me. It's not just about getting a 2 to 3 or 4 or 5x return on your investment. Although that is important, it's really important to understand what are the other prices of the products that are related to this, that somebody's going to be looking at if they're going to buy a product. So with that being said, we then price the product accordingly. One thing I will say is, if you are in a market and you don't actually know if this is a newer market and you don't know about the price elasticity, meaning like what somebody might be willing to pay, I would say go higher, because you can always come down versus going lower and trying to go up in the future. But we priced the product accordingly. Then, understanding that, I reverse engineered what we would need to, based on the amount we ordered, how many we would need to sell in order to hit a certain revenue target that we have for our plan. Now, then it allowed me to say, okay, what do we need to spend on marketing? So I broke up the cost of distribution, meaning the media spends and affiliate fees and all of that stuff. And then I understood, okay, what do I want to pay to execute the creative for this project? And then worked with our internal team to basically build out what is the actual creative story we're telling. We have somebody internally who I've worked with in the past, and she did an amazing job breaking down the story that we are telling for this product, really building out the narrative, building out potential concerns that we could see or objections people might have to this product, and then building out pieces of the story that visually and verbally, the written word, can communicate and overcome those objections and tell that story. I think it's important to have an overall narrative of the product, and then breaking out from that overall narrative, how do we visually communicate this without literally telling it to people? I think that's the challenge of a creative. If you do that, you are making good creative, because good creative is problem solving, and is problem solving to get this product into the hearts and minds of the people so that they will open up their wallet and buy this product and make it a part of their daily life, especially if it's an e-commerce brand. Doing that through a screen can be difficult, so figuring out how to do that, I think a good framework for that is really just saying, okay, how do we build out the narrative we want people to tell themselves about this product? And then how do we get people to believe that without actually saying, for example, if this is an all-day work shoe that you can wear all day and night, how do we never say those exact words, but how do we tell the story in other ways, dancing around that, but not being so literal with it? Doing that through visuals and everything like that. If you couldn't tell somebody specifically that exact phrase of this is an all-day work shoe, how would you visually communicate it? It's almost like a version of Pictionary. I think that's the right word. Or is it charades? I think it's charades, actually. I think good creative is like charades, and that's what I'm going to title this video. So we did that. We basically brought it to life through visuals and videos, photography, and doing things that we felt like would capture people and make them feel an emotion. In some of the other videos that you've watched of mine, we have the butcher shop shoot where we went in and saran wrapped or vacuum sealed this clog, and what we did with that was really just bring it to life and make it a part of the kitchen, just as essential as the ingredients or the tools to a chef. Then we went to the farmer's market, and that helped us tell the story of from morning to night, this shoe has your back. This is the shoe you can wear all day. Then I pieced together all those elements into a landing page, and we created a bunch of GIFs on that page that we use as teaser elements to then get people to sign up for the email list as well. From that, we are in that phase now where we have rolled this thing out, and the biggest lesson here was how important the visual assets are to telling that story, and how that is what builds the hype, is building that narrative, not being so literal with the narrative, but explaining to people through showing them, not telling them, what this product is and who it's for. And now we go into the final piece. Not losing momentum when you roll the product out. So when you're rolling the product out, it can be easy to be like, here's every asset we have, and tell the story once and then be done. No, we have the shoe actually dropping on the 28th. What I'm doing is telling the story starting on the 12th, which is today. So essentially over the course of 16 days, we will be continually talking about this thing. And then once it rolls out and after, I've already pre-recorded some videos of us doing behind the scenes with our shoe designer on how this product was brought to life. And that will basically tell the story of the product in its infancy, the idea of it 2 years ago, how it came to life, and we'll be dripping this stuff out organically and through paid and an email and an SMS well beyond even when the product goes live. And the thing is, you may be not excited about your product anymore once it goes live because you've already seen sales come in. You lose the hype that you had on day one, but the goal of you as the marketer is to keep that same hype, keep your team hyped about it, and keep telling that story again and again, but in different ways that aren't obvious, that aren't literal. And whatever amount of creative and assets you think you need, quadruple it. And that's the amount you actually need to be able to tell that story through the whisper, tease, shout approach of it. So to recap, we're going to talk, basically the pricing is everything, and you need to price off of the market, what they are willing to pay and what they are already paying for other products. Then you need to get creative assets that are like charades. You cannot be literal about it. Build out a brief, explain a simple narrative. It can be a sentence. This is the all-day non-slip work shoe. Then you explain it through visuals that support that without being so literal. Then lastly, you need to communicate the story and not get tired of it internally, but over communicate that story to where when you are tired of it, that's when you're just getting started with it. And continue to tell that story on social, email, and ads before the launch, when it launches, and after the launch. And those are the three things I've learned from running a launch, from pricing the product with the team, to building out the briefs, to working with the PR team, to designing the landing page, to kind of doing everything in between, getting the assets, going on the shoe, getting the talent for the shoe, coming up with the concepts with the team, approving the concepts, building out the whole styling for the launch, and then launching it, doing the timing of it, the media buying of it, working with the email and SMS team, lining up everything on the calendar, lining up how much we're going to sell on the P&L, and ultimately launching this product. So I'll do another video to kind of check in and share more as this thing unfolds, but I wanted to share those early wins and those early launch ideas and thoughts with you, so that if you are launching a product, I want you to understand that it's not so cut and dry of like, hey, get this checklist and do all these things, because what will happen with that is you will do those things and be like, all right, we're done. Why didn't I get the result? Like, you almost have to be in a relationship with the launch in order for it to make sense and be successful and have heart and have soul and have authenticity, which is something that's really lacking in e-commerce brands today. So I wanted to share that with you because I think a lot of people get caught up in, I did everything on the checklist, why didn't it work? That's because it doesn't have any heart, doesn't have any soul. All right, so you know the drill already if you watched to this point. My goal and my promise to you, that my pinky promise to you, is that I will always share everything I have. I will hold nothing back. And all I ever ask in return is that you help me to positively impact 2,025 people by 2025. And if this video positively impacted you, leave a comment below sharing how, and I will be very grateful. Either way, I'm very grateful for you listening to this point, and I'll see you all in the next video. Double or nothing, team.